In this video, I'm going to continue to rank the best Champions League teams this year from the worst to the best. Now, this is the second to last video. I'm going to go through teams 16 to 9th. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Atalanta, which is out of all the teams in this video, the team perhaps with the least pedigree, the team with the least European history. But I just cannot understate how amazing Atalanta are at the moment. They had a dream season last season, which was particularly powerful because they hail from the city of Bergamo in northern Italy, which was one of the most affected cities in the whole of Italy, and in fact in the whole of Europe and the world by the coronavirus situation. A lot of people died. It really devastated the city. So for these guys to do what they have done last season, to go all the way to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, only losing against European giants PSG, and to even battle it out with the likes of Juventus, Lazio, Inter. They got even close to winning the Serie A. They didn't finish that far behind Juventus, but even just finishing in the top four and qualifying to the Champions League for the Champions League, it's a second season in a row. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic what Atalanta is doing, and they have a fantastic group, and they've scored over, I believe, almost 100 goals last season in the Serie A. I mean, that is an absolutely insane record to score 100 goals in the Serie A. It's really something that you would only expect from the likes of Juventus, who has players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala, or Higuain in their ranks. Well, not Higuain anymore, but last season they had Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala, Higuain. But I mean, this is really the kind, or from a team like Inter with Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez. But I mean, Atalanta is traditionally a small team, yet they have been absolutely fantastic last year, and I think this year they have a very good chance as well. Their group is not that difficult. They have a chance of getting to the knockout stages again. They're going to be in Group D with Liverpool, Ajax, and Midtjylland. I think they have a very good chance of progressing to the knockout stages again. I look forward to seeing Atalanta play in the Champions League, and they've started the Serie A in remarkable fashion, again winning all their games. So that makes me believe that they're going to do very well again this season. But I would still say Ajax. Look, they've won the Champions League a number of times. They're one of the true European greats, and they've been remarkable. If Atalanta was the revelation last year, the year before that it was Ajax almost reaching the final of the Champions League. And if they had reached I know it's a big if, but if they had reached the final of the Champions League, they were seconds away before they conceded that goal against Tottenham. They could have brought the fight to Liverpool. They could have had a chance of winning the Champions League the way they were playing. Of course, Klopp's side is fantastic, but so they probably wouldn't have. But I mean, Ajax was really amazing, and they've lost a number of players since then from that amazing team. Players like Van der Beek this season, Frankie de Jong to Barcelona last season, and Dest to Barcelona this season, and so on and so forth. So they have been losing some of their great players, but Ziyech that went to Chelsea, but I mean the lead that left for Juventus. But still, I mean, this is a fantastic side still, I believe, and I think we're going to see Ajax win probably the Eredivisie this season again. They were probably going to win it last season if it hadn't been interrupted because of the COVID situation. They were number one, tied with AZ in points. But yeah, I mean, just because of their history, I got to place Ajax a little bit above. But remember, I mean, in a group with Midtjylland, Atalanta, and Liverpool, I mean, bar Liverpool, who are world beaters, I think Ajax has a real chance of finishing second in that group, or even first if Liverpool has a bad year. Number 14, Leipzig. I don't know if Atalanta was the revelation team last year or Leipzig was, at least in the Champions League. I mean, Leipzig reaching the semifinal, and I mean, they were very strong last season. They were very strong, and not only that, they didn't just reach the semifinal of the Champions League. They also uh, got they were also a serious opposition for Bayern in the Bundesliga. You know, they were leading the Bundesliga for a number of match days. I mean, they had an absolutely remarkable season last year. The only thing I would uh, I would say against Leipzig this season is that they lost their big man. They lost their best player, their big scorer, Timo Werner, who is today one of the best number nines in the world, and he was a big part of the team. You know, providing a lot of their goals. And if you look at the Champions League draw, they're in Group H with Istanbul, Manchester United, and PSG. Now, Istanbul, I think they're not serious competition. I mean, they're a fine team, but I think Leipzig is really much better. But this Group H is definitely the group of death. And Leipzig is going to have, they weren't lucky in the draw. Usually, I would say a team like Leipzig, they should have a fairly easy time to get to the knockout stages. Not the season. Now with that group, this is a very complicated group with two European greats, PSG and Manchester United. But look at how Manchester United has been playing recently, right? So Leipzig, I think they might reach the knockout stages again, even though I would say that they're probably still the underdogs. Now, number 13, Sevilla. Sevilla is really a fantastic story for me because they don't have the resources that a Real Madrid has, a Barcelona has, even an Atletico Madrid. They don't have the team. They don't have the big name players. They don't have, like Barcelona has Messi, Real Madrid has the likes of Benzema and Hazard. Atletico Madrid now has Suarez, but they also have Diego Costa and so on. I mean, Sevilla doesn't have the big names, but especially under Monchi, their director of football, they're always capable of selling very well and capturing really good, interesting players that they buy for cheap and they sell for much more money afterwards. And in the meantime, they build great teams. They build great teams. They win trophies. They've won the Europa League again last season. They won the Europa League again last season. They've won it a number of record number of six times. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And they routinely beat European giants just like last year in the semifinals, beating Manchester United in the Europa League in the semifinals, beating Inter Milan in the final. So this is a fantastic team. They might not have the big name players, but they are great. And if you look at their Group E, other than Chelsea, they should have a good time this season in the Champions League. I expect to see them in the knockout stages, creating big trouble for some big name teams in the knockout stages. Now, number 12, Inter Milan. I just talked about Inter Milan, and they did lose in the final against Sevilla in the Europa League final against Sevilla. So I would say, maybe it would make more sense for Sevilla to be number 12, Inter Milan a little bit behind them, number 13. But I don't know. It's Conte, it's Inter Milan. They could have won the Serie A last season. They finished 1 point behind Juventus. And I think this is still a growing team. I think they're going to get better and better. I think they look very good. And if you look at their draw, they had a fantastic draw. Real Madrid, obviously, one of the big teams in the world in the competition. But then Shakhtar and Borussia Mönchengladbach, I definitely expect to see Inter Milan progress in the knockout stages. It was a good draw for them, and I would love to see. I mean, look, we need these big teams back. We need the historical teams back. Inter Milan, hopefully AC Milan. They started the season strong. I want to see these teams come back into the fold. These Italian teams, because football misses them. I certainly miss them. So, but I think Conte is building a fantastic team. Really, I mean, Lukaku, Lautaro Martinez, Eriksen. They just got Alexis Sanchez in on a definitive basis. They just got Arturo Vidal for nothing, I believe, from Barcelona. So, or almost nothing. So, I mean, Conte is building a really competent team. Now, number 11, this is an even more exciting team. Borussia Dortmund is really a fantastic team. Very excited. Look, this is the most exciting team in Europe right now. I'm gonna go as far as saying that they're the most exciting team because of their prospects, but also because of their present, because of the way they play. They play beautiful attacking football, very creative, and they have the likes of Haaland. They have Jadon Sancho. They have Reina. I mean, what's up with these American kids? They're just becoming some of the biggest players in Europe, the biggest young players in Europe. But I mean, they have an amazing selection lineup of young talents. And the only question is if they stay at Dortmund, they are going to build a world beating team. Now, I don't know how much time they're going to have to do that because obviously in the past, Dortmund has routinely lost some of their big prospects. You know, in the last generation, we saw their best players, Götze, Hummels, Lewandowski, switched to Bayern Munich, which is really a shame and made the Bundesliga a lot less exciting, even though Bayern fans are certainly happy about it. But so that's the only thing. But they will have these players this year, and I expect them to do very well this year. Again, looking at their group, they have a very accessible group. Group F, in my opinion, is the weakest group out of all the groups. No big teams really. I mean, you have Lazio, the biggest name, but there I think Dortmund is a much better team, and I think Zenit is not a great team. I think Bruges is not on their level. So I mean, I would be surprised to see Dortmund not reach the knockout stages. And if they reach the knockout stages, I mean, they can beat anyone on a two match system or even one match system. I don't know, under the COVID situation, because of the COVID situation, we might see again single elimination matches in the knockout stages. I mean, Dortmund is a very interesting team to watch. Now, number 10, I'm gonna get a lot of criticism over this because everyone says that Manchester United sucks. And look, they suck right now, but they do have amazing players. And I don't know how much longer Solskjaer is gonna stay if they get a new manager. Look at what happened to Bayern last season. They look like shit. Pardon my French, but they look like shit in the beginning of the season. They ended the season as the undisputably best team in Europe and the world. Absolutely amazing, looking unbeatable, winning all the titles. Sometimes a change in the leadership makes a big difference. And also, they just got Cavani, which I personally think is a great signing for them. Alex Telles is also a pretty good signing at left back. I mean, I think Manchester United does have the talent. They have the raw talent. Of course, they need more players. Of course, this is not Alex Ferguson's world-beating Manchester United team. Any of his world-beating Manchester United teams. But, Manchester United, in my opinion, still a good team, still a great team if they can make certain things work, which they're not doing right now. But in the future, maybe so. And they're unfortunately though for them, they are in the group of death with PSG, Leipzig. It's going to be tough, and anything can happen. I think anything can happen. We can see Manchester United get eliminated in the group stage, but we can also see them do well in the competition, I think. So who knows? Now, Chelsea, last team in this video. They don't quite get into my top 8 teams in Europe in the Champions League at least, but they do get number 9, which is a very respectable position. And this is a very respectable team that Lampard is building. They just signed. They had, out of all the teams in Europe and the world, they had the best summer transfer window. They signed, as you see in the picture, Kai Havertz, which is one of the most promising players in young football, second biggest transfer of the summer. They signed Ziyech from Ajax, which is also a big signing. They signed Werner from Leipzig, which is a major signing. They signed Chilwell from last year. They signed Mendy, a new goalkeeper. God knows they needed a new goalkeeper. I mean, look, if Lampard can make this team work, I think they can be fantastic. They can be formidable. He has a whole season to make these new signings work, to make them gel and build a good team. And they're going to have an easy time, I think, in the group stages, which is what they need. They need easy opponents so they reach the knockout stages and they can keep growing as the season goes on. I think Sevilla will be a tough challenge, but Krasnodar and Hen are definitely accessible teams for a team like Chelsea. So this is it for now. And in the next video, I'll talk about the 8 best teams in the Champions League this season, the big 8 candidates to win it. Thank you so much.